24 years ago today, terrorists attacked 4 commercial airplanes and carried out suicide attacks against targets in this country. The largest, the World Trade Center in New York City. For some East Tennesseans, the emotions remain raw today as the nation pauses to remember the tragic events of September 11, 2001. 6 on Your Side reporter Kayla Precht is here after speaking with 2 men with ties to East Tennessee. They reflected on what they experienced that day and its lasting impact on their lives. Kayla.
Lori, I spoke to 2 men who tell me that even 24 years later, the thought of that day in New York is still heart-wrenching. Jason Pack, a former FEMA public affairs officer, was in Greenville, Tennessee, watching the news about the 9/11 attacks like everyone else, in shock. Fast forward 48 hours, Pack was on his way to Ground Zero to document the recovery. That moment marked his first ever time in New York City.
An unbelievable experience, like very humbling, and I was honored to be able to serve, but it was also just chilling at the same time, like having family members running up to you, just saying, "Can you please help me?" Just the desperation that you saw in their faces and their voices, looking for their parents. They were just looking for anybody that would help them, and it's just so heartbreaking.
Retired NYPD officer and former Bearden Middle School teacher Stephen Shedden was on vacation in Florida when the attacks happened. He saw the news on television and tried to get back to help, but couldn't because air travel was shut down. He dedicated his life to teach students about 9/11, and every year he remembers his fallen colleagues.
Moira Ann Smith, they took a famous picture of her. She was the only female police officer from the NYPD that died on 9/11. And we were pretty good friends. A lot of the firefighters on that day, they knew that there was a very good chance they were not going to go home. And it did not stop them or slow them down from doing what they had to do.
Pack shares being there with such an abundance of loss breaks you as a person. Today, he remembers the firefighters, police officers, construction workers, and even crane operators that served.
I think it's important that we remember the sacrifice, and we're able to tell these stories of all the good that comes out of such tragic situations. It's very often that the worst in times brings out the best in people.
Pack shared with me that kids from across the country were sending drawings to first responders, and one from Bearden Middle School in Knoxville was hanging on a pier in New York. He even ran into Knox County deputies and others from East Tennessee, saying the volunteer spirit definitely made its way to Ground Zero that day. Lori.